He's the managing editor of the Daily Sabah newspaper. Good to have you back with us, Mehmet. This is quite a big step in this 11-year-long conflict in Syria. We know Turkey has had a key interest, given that its northern border with Syria has been quite a restive one, posing a threat to Turkey's national security. How do you explain what's happened in Moscow? What does Turkey hope to gain from these latest talks?
As President Erdogan recently said, there in politics there is no long-term enmities, but there is national interest. I think this should be held at two levels. First of all, at a regional level, Turkey has been perhaps the country that suffered the most from the bleeding wound in its neighborhood with Syria crisis, be it with terrorist threats coming from northern Syria, or be it socially or economically with 5 million refugees within its borders, and instability in region affecting, of course, economy in the region and affecting Turkey directly. So regionally, Turkey, and led by President Erdogan, Turkey wants to put an end to this instability, and it's attempting to redesign the politics in the region so that this instability can come to an end. I think this regionally, particularly, of course, directly it affects Turkey and Syria, but regionally it's a huge step as well. At a second level, I think internationally it is also a huge step and a huge success if Turkey is able to reach some sort of agreement with regards to, the terrorist establishment in northern Syria, with regards to the return of Syrian refugees back to their homes in a safe environment. This will also be a successful international achievement for President Erdogan when it comes to diplomacy. I think, regionally, it directly affects people of the region, economy of the region, stability in the region. But internationally, I think Syria file has been affecting almost everyone from Middle East to Europe, all the way to North America. So if this comes to an end and reconstruction or politically establishment of a stable entity can be established, and that can serve to Syrian people as a whole, I think this will be a huge success, not for this time of the year, not for this decade, but it will be perhaps one of the significant moments in this century, because Syria war has affected millions and millions of people, affected several countries directly. Turkey is one of them, and it directly being affected when it comes to economically. It's negatively affected. Security-wise, there's a huge instability in northern Syria, and there is a direct terror threat to Turkey's sovereignty. So if this becomes fruitful, and some sort of results are actually becomes tangible, and a result is achieved, I think region of the people, but also the wider region will also benefit from these steps, which are, we shouldn't expect immediate results, but I think in the long term, it is towards something more positive.
Mehmet, we know much of the world has been preoccupied with the conflict in Ukraine, which has been going on for 10 months now. And so a lot of the attention has been taken away from the civil war in Syria, which is still ongoing after 11 years. Do you think that in the absence of perhaps a concerted interest from the West in Syria, that it is up to countries like Turkey to step in and find some sort of a resolution to this more than a decade-long conflict?
I think what Turkey is doing right now is restating its several, there's several points. First of all, Syria's territorial integrity, safe return of refugees, and also elimination of terror threat in northern Syria. If these are established diplomatically or through some sort of diplomatic talks, be it with the Syrian regime in Moscow, or be it with the West, I think this is only these are the 3 points that are Turkey's concern. Now, Turkey has tried to establish this with the Western, NATO allies, Turkey's NATO allies, but unfortunately, I mean, the YPG, the direct threat to Turkey's territorial integrity and sovereignty is being supported by the Western countries, and namely the US. I mean, led by the US, this terrorist organization has been able to establish itself militarily, logistically, politically, has been able to stand strong against Turkey, which is also the West's NATO ally. So there's that hypocritical stance when it comes to the Western support to a solution in Syria. So Turkey is trying to achieve this with the backers of Assad, and of course, we are referring here to the Putin administration or Kremlin. Now, I think one thing that we should highlight, or at least mention here, is what will be the position of Iran also. Now, Iran is a silent player here, but it is very significant also in Iran. I mean, in Syria, I apologize. But I think the strength of the willingness of Putin with President Erdogan, I think will be able to achieve some sort of concrete results if Assad regime is able to stand and answer some of the demands Turkey put forward as red lines.
Okay, Mehmet Celik from the Daily Sabah. We will have to leave it there, but really appreciate your analysis. Thank you.